Hi everyone, it's Gwethorn from Gwethorn's Games, and I'm going to be running a 12-man today. Done no for good. I've tried running this. It's located in the shadow, near the Shadow Refuge.
The elves of Lorien have uncovered Dár Nargubud, the lair of the Mistress of Pestilence, the vile creature responsible for the plague spreading among the creatures of Moria. What heroes will overthrow the Queen of the Nameless? Who will put an end to her plague?
I'll just start by having all of the consumables. I'm running a red line with a bit of blue. Just to start off with, I will be swapping to a blue line for the final boss. This pair of bosses just at the start. We'll need some hope.
For what you've done to my brother. His death. Your death.
Now, as you can see, this is fairly quick. At least for the first half a dozen bosses. And that's the reason I'm running it with a Lawmaster, redline Lawmaster. It's got lots of area of effect, and it's quite quick. Okay, so once you pass the first two bosses, the dual bosses, you continue down to the Crossroads. You might notice that I've reconfigured the red line a bit. Given more focus on healing and the stun ability from Cracked Earth. Now there are fumaroles down here, lesser and greater ones that you need to take out. We'll get to those fairly shortly. Just take out the trash. So as I said, I'm running the first 4 bosses with the red line, because there's nothing really tricky about them. These are the few rolls you've got to get rid of, or they just keep popping. Okay, so we're in the Crossroads now. There are 3 exits. To the left, to the right, and in the middle. We'll go down the right. There are 2 bosses down here. Okay, got to get the fumarole. Okay, and as I've said before, there are a lot of Slayer Ds that are available. especially if you haven't completed them in Moria, because there's some for the instance and there's some for the, okay, there's the way down for one of the bosses, and we'll continue up the top for the second, for the first of the bosses. Actually, I suppose it is the second of the bosses, but I count these 3 bosses down these side passages as a group, even though they're the dual one at the start actually is a boss combination. You've got to get rid of this grate of the fumarole to continue. Just burn it down. And here's the first boss. There's lots of side trash you can take if you want to get the Slayer deeds, but this is the first boss.
The Mistress's army is too strong. We were bred stronger and tougher. Leave my presence, or suffer the consequences! You cannot stop her army. I will not allow it.
Now he has a heal at the start, which you can just burn past.
I must protect myself.
Okay, and there's the first chest. Second chest. Okay, we'll head on to the one downstairs, the boss downstairs. So I've run this with a champion, I've run this with a hunter on endurance, with endurance stance. Both of those fail. That's the way out, just around there. So we go just down the slope to get to the second in the group of 3. So yes, as I said, the champion failed because it didn't have enough healing in the last boss. And get the greater fumarole again. Oh, I think this is a new one, but still. There's the next boss behind there. And just burn this one down. Just heal myself as well. Some wounds. Okay.
Welcome. You will all know the Mistress's gift very shortly. You are too strong. Too many. It is good I am here to stop you. What is this? The Mistress ordered me not to fail. Death to all!
Now when you first run through, you can pick some items off the bodies of these bosses. I've done this a few times with this character. So yeah, I've also run it with a endurance hunter and got past the first game mechanics for the final boss, but was unable to get through the third of the game dynamics for the final boss. So had enough healing, but was stunned, and was, because of the way the game dynamics work, I was unable to get back out with the hunter. I have run through with a captain and succeeded, and I have run through with the captain actually a couple of times, but it's quite slow, so I thought I would try the War Master. We'll go for this boss, the boss on this side, keep going, following it down. Just keep taking out the trash, take the greater fumarole when it turns up. Going. I'll have to take one of these trashes out on the side because I can't get through without it. Probably take the right side. There's the boss behind it. Then you have to do all of these first 4 bosses, the dual boss at the start and these 3 side bosses before you can get to the next, the middle path.
God's not gonna stop you! Mistress, lend me your courage!
Okay, you can go to the pedestals. It makes a difference in the 12-man on level, but you can activate it. Doesn't make a lot of difference.
Mistress, grant me your wisdom.
Now it's doing some AoE poison, but I'll just burn through it and heal. Those were class specific pedestals. Okay, that's the dual boss, the 3 side bosses done, and now we can go through to the next boss. Yeah, so I've the captain and the lawmaster are the only classes with pets or companions, and the game dynamics of the second section of the last boss is stuns 1 character, always the way. So the hunter, while it was able to heal its way through the first of the game dynamics for the final boss, was unable to get through the second, actually the third, because the second's game dynamics is a mob of goblins. Okay, take the fumaroles out. There's another one. Now with the redline hunter I don't get anything particularly special out of the pet, but as I said I'm going to be changing over to blue line for the final boss, with a little bit of yellow line. And as you can tell, I've got kindred status, that's good. That's another whole heap of 40 or so Lotro points, 25 Lotro points. Now these creatures start getting harder and harder, as you'd expect, as you get further in. And there's the next boss behind these guys. Okay, now you can go all the way in, focus on the boss itself. It will do a shadow boss at one of its phases, but if you ignore that and just keep burning down the main boss, that's the best way of doing it.
Mistress will be most displeased if I allow you any further.
You have to move off that matting.
We fight!
There are ads that come in, AoE will take those out. Just focus on the boss. There's the shadow coming in. And we're past that boss. Okay, grab the loot. And we drop down. Now if you go the other ways, try going through there, they would have killed you. Okay, so this one here, that exit would take you through to the Crossroads. We don't go that way. We actually go through this way around here, which is a little bit hidden, and jump up. And let's continue down. Now, as I said, I'm moving over to the blue line Lawmaster with a bit of yellow because the game dynamics, game mechanics. There's the red line. Okay, I'm getting rid of that. I've pre-set up the blue line with some yellow lines, so I've got extra healing, and I've got a basically defensive build, and I've got the Storm Law, and I'm going to be bringing in my threat generating bear. The captain, while the captain has a companion, it doesn't have a taunting pet companion. And make sure it comes through. If you don't get it through that portal, it gets stuck outside all the time, and you will not be able to complete the final boss. So you've got to clear these world eaters, world protectors. There's 4 or 5 of them before you can move on to the final boss, who's now sitting in the middle. Heal and burn them down.
Who dares come into my lair? Who dares take away my children? You come here, and you wish to destroy that which you do not understand. Your ignorance will be your
these spores,
undoing.
these spores protect the boss, so you have to get rid of the spores. The stun is the only way. Well, stun, daze, interrupts will all get rid of them. But the more there are, the less damage you do to the main boss, and the more damage gets reflected. So you need to be able to heal as much as the damage you do. You can see I'm taking damage from just doing damage. Got to keep those healing up, and I'm doing my best to get the pet to do as much damage as possible. That's why the blue line was there, and that's why I've got the stun from the yellow line, just to get rid of these spores so that I can do more damage and so that the pet can do more damage. There they go. Okay, go back to the mistress. You can see it's been, all the buffs have been taken away. Spores come back in, it'll get more debuffs. I'll get more buffs for it. Gotta keep the healing going. Gotta keep the stuns going. Gotta keep the pet going. Oh, I took a lot of damage. I did some extra stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a big heal for that. Yeah, wisdom of the councillor's time. Yep, go back up to the top. This is all damage that I'm doing to myself because it's reflected damage, but it's the way through. You need a healer, or at least someone that can heal, and I'm really underplaying my DPS to get this far. The second phase is a lot of goblins, which will come up shortly.
Darkness, aid me!
Okay, here come the grunts. Okay, target them, AoE them down. The bear also has a stun, which is good, but I was more focused on just letting it do more damage and getting the extra protection from the bear itself, from the blue line hunter. Okay, there's going to be more. Here they come. And those snarling overseer hatchlings are the third phase.
Your thoughts are clear, but you still do not see.
As you may have noticed, I have been stunned. Okay, I got rid of it. Now, with the taunting bear, telling it to attack the one that stuns you allows you to get through that phase. If you don't get that off you, you will just stay stunned forever, so you need to have a second a pet, companion, something like that if you're soloing. And I can just burn this down. Oh, I'm stunned again. The bear will continue up if I target that one and tell the bear to attack. Breaks the stun. I can go back to the boss. and finish it.
All is undone.
And that's how you do the instance. I'll get the strong box. Dár Nargubud. Yeah, as I said, you need to have a companion or a pet. I am using one with threat generation, the bear from the blueline Lawmaster, which is more efficient. The captain can get through, but there's no threat generation. There's nothing else in here. I can leave. And that's how you do it. Okay, thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Looks like we've got some runes, decent runes, and a few essences, not essences, enchantments. Okay. And as I said, my reputation went up because of the change to kindred status for the